good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Three Crosses Kids, our devotional for today. This is actually part 2 of a story about Mary and Martha and Lazarus. Remember last time we talked about all the disciples and Jesus going to Martha's house for lunch. And there was a meal to be served, and Martha was in the kitchen. And she did all the work, and she was hurrying around and wanting to please Jesus and the disciples, and she realized that she was all by herself. And remember, she goes to Jesus and she says to Jesus, Lord, don't you care that I'm all by myself, that Mary is in here listening to you? Tell her to come and help me. And remember that Jesus said, what Mary is doing is very important. What you're doing is very important, but I can't take Mary away from what she's doing to help you. You know, boys and girls, sometimes we have to do what it is that God has called us to do without complaint, without comparing, without whining or tattling or anything else. Just do what we're called to do. And now we switch to another incident just several weeks later. In fact, just before Jesus would go to the cross. And we find now they're back at Martha's house. And it says that the disciples are there again. And this time it's a dinner in the honor of Jesus. But this time we find that there isn't any complaining. There isn't any comparing. It says Martha served. And that's all that it said. It's like Martha had figured out that she needed to do her best and allow her sister to do what she was supposed to do. Remember, Mary was in the living room or the room with Jesus, and she was anointing Jesus' feet and washing Jesus' feet with her hair to show that she honored him. You know, boys and girls, whatever it is that you have been called to do, you need to do it in a way that would honor the Lord. How about playing soccer? Not comparing yourself to anybody else, but just doing your best because it's what you're called to do. Not saying, well, I don't get to score all the goals like somebody else, just doing your best. Or maybe you're called to help with dinner tonight. You get to make the rice or roni, or you're doing some artwork. You know, we're all kept inside during this time. Maybe you're doing some artwork. Don't worry about what anybody else does. Just do your best for what you're supposed to do. So, boys and girls, the big thing to learn from this lesson about Mary and Martha is that we need to be committed to what it is that God wants us to do and do our very best with it. And then be content with what God wants us to do. Just be satisfied without complaint. Have a great day.